Ever wondered what familiar potentials are worth keeping? This is the video for you. Now, I'm not just talking about the basic boss damage and IED familiar lines. There are so many other lines that are worth keeping if you do roll them using red familiar cards. Ideally, what you want to do is make a bunch of unique familiars and then use the red familiar cards to re-roll them for any of the lines mentioned in this video. This way, you will have a variety of good familiars to use for bossing, farming, and training. If you need help on how you can make lots of unique familiars for free, be sure you check out this guide video right here. Please don't use red familiar cards on non-unique familiars though, because they're just a complete waste of money. The tier up rates for red familiar cards are pretty depressing. I think the rate is 0.1% or something along those lines. I hope GMS comes out with a better card for tiering up familiars. As with cubing, tiering up is only half the battle because you also have to roll for lines. The amount of trash lines, as always, is amazing. So you really need to be smart about how you use these red familiar cards for the gains that you're going for. That out of the way, let's talk about some of the best potentials you should keep while rerolling or revealing a familiar's potential. The most obvious ones I mentioned in the intro already are IED and boss damage. For these two lines, I'd say anything above 20 is keepable depending on what stage of the game that you are, but ideally you want at least 30 for endgame. Personally, I'm going for 40 because I'm pretty much late endgame, and if I don't reroll my familiars for 40, I pretty much won't get the gains, so it's gonna be a battle for that. If you do get 20, I'd say keep for now and work on other ones to slowly phase out the 20% one. Next, we have attack percent and crit damage. These are better used as secondary lines than they are for primary lines, especially if your familiar is legendary. But unique, you can get 6% attack, which is quite good for farming and training. If you need extra damage at legendary, you can get 9%. The same thing with critical damage, you can get 3% at unique, 6% at legendary. I've seen pretty big whales just use 9% attack as a first line, and then the second line they have a 6% attack, so it's a total of 15% attack, so that also works if you have legendary familiars, but that's crazy hard to get as well. Both of these are better as secondary lines if you are rolling for bossing familiars and not primary line, but if you're going for training, they can be treated as primary lines. That's pretty much it for all of the range increasing familiar lines: boss damage, IED, attack percent, and crit damage. Now let's move on to survivability. Familiars offer lines that restore a large amount of HP, which restores 15% of HP every set interval. Ideally, you want the continually restores a large amount of HP to party members line to help your party members out, but if you get the continually restores a large amount of HP, you can also keep that for now and just slowly phase it out, similar to the 20% boss damage one. These types of HP restoring familiars will help you a lot in Varicella and will phase 2 as well. Basically, any boss that potion locks you, including Black Mage. Now make sure the line says a large amount of HP. Lastly, let's also talk about the farming side of things, be it cube farming or meso farming, whichever type of farming. One of the most important lines for farming is increase item drop rate by a large amount, because this increases your drop rate by 100%, basically a 2x drop coupon from your use tab. This effect does not stack with the 2x drop coupon from your use tab. Take note, the line is an increase item and meso drop rate by a large amount, because that is a completely different line with a different effect and does not stack with the item drop rate by a large amount. The meso and item drop rates are lower in terms of the drop rate percentage increase. I think it's only 60%, so that's why I don't recommend getting that. Another line that increases drop rate is called item acquisition rate plus 10%. However, this line increases item drop rate by 10% and is considered as a piece of equipment, similar to the drop rate percent that you see in legendary equips. This means that this line will not break through the 200% drop rate cap that is placed on the equipment. To give an example, let's say you have 200% drop rate increase from your drop gear. If you summon a familiar with item acquisition rate plus 10%, you will not have 210% drop rate. You will only still have 200% drop in your window, because this familiar line is considered as a piece of equipment. Moving on, let's look a bit into meso farming specifically. We have two lines that will help in meso farming: 5% chance to auto steal and meso obtain plus 10. The TLDR for what percent auto steal does is that it gives a chance for a mob to drop slightly more mesos. It's not a huge amount, but it is still somewhat useful, so I keep it if I accidentally roll it. I wouldn't go out of my way to roll it though, but yeah. The meso obtained plus 10 is a 10% bonus in meso obtained and not just 10 meso. Now the question you might be wondering is, does it stack with equips and break beyond the 100% cap? The answer is no. It doesn't. Similar to a drop rate version of this line, this familiar is considered as an equip, which means you can't break through the equipment 100% meso cap with it. If you had 100% meso gear already, these familiars would be useless. However, if you don't and you need an extra 10% meso or 20% to hit the cap, these familiars would be quite useful. I keep the line if I roll it on a unique familiar, just in case I ever need it in the future, though I don't see myself needing it. Here is a summary of every line you should probably keep at unique or epic to make the most out of your red card rerolls or epic tier reveals. Be sure to whack that like button and sub button if you found this video helpful. If you want to support the channel and receive special shoutouts and badges, hit that join button below. Talk to you all in the next video.